Welcome back. Ladies, we're at home in quarantine,
Mm-hmm.
no school.
Mm.
It's also summer, so of course we're home. Our goal is to share, to show a song, book, hobby. So if we want to go around, say what we've been enjoying.
Um,
Whoever wants to go first.
Not me.
Okay.
Go
Sure,
me.
I'll go first. So, in terms of hobbies, I've kind of gotten into journaling and just like writing down whatever thoughts are going through my head. Because I feel like quarantine can be a stressful time, and just even managing like all of the changes of like school, work,
Yeah.
and life,
Mm-hmm.
it makes you overthink a lot. And just so that I'm not like overthinking and constantly stressing out, I find that writing it down really puts it into perspective. Like sometimes when you look at it on paper, you're like, what was I stressing about? Like that's such an
That's
insignificant
so true,
thing.
actually.
And
Yeah.
sometimes you just, yeah, you feel like you've like gotten it off your chest. So
Hmm.
that's my one thing, I guess, that I've been doing.
Oh my God, love that.
Cool. Cool.
So
B,
let's
do you
keep
wanna
it going,
go?
guys.
Love that.
Thank you.
What have I been doing? Okay, well, I don't know which one I want to share, but obviously I feel like just watching TV shows are just a nice little outlet. If you haven't
Yes.
watched already, watch Money Heist, guys. That is probably one of the
I
I've
best
was
been
just
shows.
hearing
saying
about
that. Oh my
that.
god.
Guys, when I tell you, it's probably one of the best shows I've ever watched in my entire life. It's also,
Can
Really?
you give
yeah,
us a like a little
it's
thing?
Yeah,
Like
tell us a
what's it
little bit
about?
about
Yeah.
it.
okay, without spoiling it. So it's basically about seven criminals, I think. The story focuses around those seven characters, and they're basically planning a whole heist to rob the bank. The Bank of Spain is the second season. I think the first one is like the museum, and it's like that's where they like make money, like fraudulent money, and they're planning on robbing it. And basically, they have like hostages, and it just follows like the story throughout a few days of them robbing the bank and like getting away with it, or if not getting away with it. But it's a really good show. Like you really fall in love with the characters, and you like find yourself
Oh,
like feeling sorry for them. Like you want them to get away with it, even though they're criminals. Like that's how good they
I
build
love
their
that.
characters.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it, watch it. It is in Spanish though.
Yeah, I
So
heard.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Bilingual. Ooh, love
Ooh,
that.
learning
super
a new
good.
language.
Right? I feel like I've like picked up words from it. Don't
Did
dub
you?
it though. Watch with
No.
subtitles. Yeah,
Okay.
watch
Oh,
with
she's
subtitles.
authentic. She's
Don't
authentic.
do the dub.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, but that's mine. Um.
Awesome.
Oh yeah. What about you?
Okay, for me, it's a song. It's called Death with Dignity. This is like the cover of it by Sufjan Stevens. It's
I
I
love
heard it on
him.
TikTok.
Ooh.
He's like really good.
He's
He
really
did like the
good.
soundtrack for the Timothy Chalamet,
Yes.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really
The
good.
the meme or whatever.
No,
He
No,
that's
does.
that's
Melanie
Melanie
Martinez, but
Martinez.
the actual movie, he does the
Oh,
soundtrack for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
good
really
point.
like
Okay.
it was really good. It was very beautiful. So yeah, Death with
That's
Dignity. This is what it
Oh.
looks like. It's I heard it on TikTok like a little bit, and it was like a
Uh-huh.
meme when like the girl was
me
talking about
adding
it.
it to the playlist.
But it was
Love
super
that.
good. I really like it. It's like chill vibes, indie. Love that.
Ooh, we like
Love
that.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's add that to.
All right. So I guess we can like introduce our topic that we want to talk about. Um, it's kind of like when we were talking about it, it's like future plans is basically what we want to talk about, but like it can like branch off into many different things. So I'm interested
Mm.
to see like where we take this conversation, because I
Mhm.
know like we're obviously all in school, we're all studying. So like I feel like it would be cool for us to like share like what our plans are, like if our plans have changed since like high school to like now, and also like
Yeah.
talking a little bit about like relationships and like how we're doing in that aspect of life and where we
Ooh.
see like balancing like relationships with school and stuff like that. I think that'd be cool to talk
Right. I
about.
agree.
So
Okay.
yeah. So we can
Well,
start like what are our majors and stuff, I guess. And like
okay. Well, I am doing an honors in biology, but it's an honors stream which is streamed into biotechnology. So in short, it's it's just biotechnology.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I'm honors bio, so it's basically a Bachelor of Science, and my like specialization would be biomed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same with me. Like I'm Vanessa, so
Mm-hmm.
basically honors biology, stream biomed.
Like, why do you guys think? So obviously we had like options. Like we could have just done like a bachelor's in bio or a bachelor's in whatever. But like, why did you guys decide to stream in biomed and not like something else, like biochem or just like biology? Like, what made you guys choose the biomed part?
Ooh,
I
okay.
think
Well,
for
first
me,
of
oh, go,
all,
go, go, go.
when I started off, you go first. I was gonna talk about eyesight and all of that, but like,
I know because Vanessa's like a
yeah, when I
bit
started,
different from ours, yeah.
Mm.
yeah, um, so when I started at York, I was originally in this program called Integrated Science, and it's basically only a first year program, but it hits the main like the core science subjects and math and all of that. And as I got into it, I realized that it wasn't like that different from biomed in the first place. And biomed was something that I'd already wanted to go into and applied to at different
Mm-hmm.
schools. So I was kind of like, why am I only in this 1 year program and I'm going to have to go back into the biomed stream second year anyway?
Yeah.
So I might as well just like go there now because it was also it was kind of a difficult program, like just in terms of the assignments and all of the extra stuff you do. Like it's not just lectures and tutorials and things, it's also a lot of additional ways that you can get marks, but also ways that kind of like can stress you out and can be more difficult.
Yeah.
So it's like I might
For
as well just
sure.
like get used to biomed to begin with. And then as for why I picked it, I'm honestly not sure. Like, you know, I could have really just done the basic biology. But I needed to take like physics and like a couple of other courses anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of fit more with biomed. So I figured might as well just like go into that stream. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, Aaliyah, you were saying.
No. Because like I find Vanessa's like super interesting because like regardless, she could like have already streamed into biomed. It just depends like first or second year. But like I
Yeah.
guess for me, and I think like this is from a lot of people from our program, like biomed, especially at York, like people mostly do it for like the prestige because
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, what's your major? Oh, I'm biomedical, honors biomedical science instead of just like
Be true. Yeah.
biology. And like
Biology.
with a lot of people that I talk to that are in the stream and that are like considering switching out, including myself, one of the reasons why like they don't want to is mainly because like the biomed, it just feels like something special, even though it really means nothing in the grand scheme of things because we're all getting a degree in biology.
Yeah.
But
I
like
Exactly.
know.
it's just like an elite status when people like either at the school or like people that you talk to hear that you say biomed, they're like, oh, that must mean like you're smart, you're going to med school and stuff. But I think for me, I just like in high school, I was in a very different mindset where I was like, I need the prestige. So that's why I chose biomed instead of biology.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's so true though.
Yeah. Definitely like in high school we are in a different mindset, so I
Mm-hmm.
can relate to that. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's very interesting because it's so funny hearing how I think both like all three of us we've had this conversation where we're like, do we want to, especially you guys, like, do you want to switch out of biomed? And like, if you were to switch out to biomed, would you just switch out to
All
regular
the time. Oh
bio,
my
or would
god.
it be
Mm,
a whole nother major?
that's a
Good
good
question.
question.
Ooh.
Because I know,
Yeah.
especially with people that are in biology, like one of our friends, Parima, which like I'm pretty sure everyone knows, like
Mm.
she was originally in biology, or no, she was in biomed. She switched to psychology,
Oh
and
yeah,
like
she
Oh
did.
yeah.
I met like a lot of other people, even outside of York, that have said like, yeah, I took bio, or like I took a pre med, and now I'm in psychology, or now I'm in like chemistry, or like something else. And like even me considering, I think like a lot of people have this stigma of like, if you switch majors, you don't know what your like, you don't know what your path is. But in
Oh yeah.
reality, if you're switching majors, it kind of shows that you actually know what you want to do because you are
Right.
Yeah.
in one major and you're like, no, this isn't for me. And like low-key, it takes courage to be like, you know
It
what, I'm gonna
does.
switch my
For sure,
Yes.
major
for sure.
because there's such a stigma around like, oh, she switched her major, so da. Especially if you're switching from bio to like psychology or bio to something that's not
Yeah.
as like
Right?
sciencey.
Oh
So
yeah,
I don't
100%.
know.
But I feel like also low key, like York is the school for that because like New York, everyone's always like, yeah, I started out in this, and now I'm like still in undergrad, and it's just like kind of an
Yeah.
accepted thing almost. I don't
Oh
know if
yeah,
like so
for
many
sure.
people are like, yeah,
I
I
think
get
it
it.
should be more
So
accepted though,
like,
because I've like I've definitely read of and I've heard from like other students who have graduated or whatever, like in your university life you're bound to change at least like 2 times or so.
Oh wow.
mm-hmm.
You're bound to think of changing. So it's like it's
Oh
not
my God, yeah.
fair. So many students think of it, but like because don't you ever think of like how many students are around us like they want to change their program so bad, but they're just too afraid because of like
Exactly.
costs or what their parents will think or what others will
Yeah, or
think.
like societal, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like so many pressures.
Yeah. So you could be in like a
Uh,
program that you don't even enjoy and you're just like stuck with it.
Have you guys ever like considered switching majors? And if so, like what major would you like go to?
Mm,
um,
I yeah, I definitely have. I
To
have,
what?
yeah. But switching, like I think I talked about this a while ago, but it's still in the science. So I would have, because I've recently found out that I really do enjoy like forensics and all that. And
Mm,
I would have just like loved to do that program. Like we don't have a program at York for it, but like switching into like forensic sciences and all that. But it's definitely still in the field and it's still open. But
that's
yeah,
so cool. I never even like,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't think we've had this conversation before. Maybe we've talked about switching, but like forensics, that's so cool. That's actually so
yeah, it's
cool.
definitely
I love
interesting.
that though. So
Yeah.
do you think you would actually do that? Like change schools and like
I have to
transfer
talk
your
about my
credits?
parents first. That's the thing. If I were able to get like, if my credits transferred, I would probably most likely do it, just because that's like I wouldn't have wanted like all this like 3 years to go by waste and then like all that
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
money that my
yeah.
parents have spent. Oh gosh. But if credits do transfer, then yeah, it's something to like look into, I guess. But I'll explore my options, talk to like counselors, we'll see. But yeah, that's mine. What about
Yeah.
you guys?
Yeah, I have. I remember a lot in first year, and I'd always come tell you and like cry about it. But
Yeah.
like, I've never actually like seriously like sat down and like looked at the options for switching my undergrad. But I've like looked into like comp sci engineering and like had discussions with my family and
Oh,
stuff where they sat
engineering.
me down and been
That's
like,
Oh
fun.
do you
yeah.
want to switch? And like,
Yeah.
because that's where all the like the jobs are. I'm not saying that that's where the jobs are, but that's like usually like easier to get employed, I guess, in this
Hmm.
day and age.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't think I like that field enough to go
Yeah.
into it,
Right.
a lot. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
unfortunate. Yeah.
Me and V, I do remember like conversations we've had. And like if I was smarter, I would have went to engineering. And if I had
Oh
like
yeah.
the brain for math, I feel like engineering is like it's just cool to me. I don't know why, but like I find it really
Yeah.
interesting. And like the prospects of jobs and like the fact that there's not many women or minority women, like
Oh yeah.
the doors would have just been open for us,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
especially as
For
minority
sure.
women. But if not like
100%.
comp sci or eng, probably psych. I really like psych, but like then it's like everybody likes psych, you know? So like that's
I
I really
know.
enjoy like understanding how the mind works and stuff. And I was even talking to my mom about it, and like I definitely want like my future career to have something to do with like neurology, psychology, neuropsych.
That's
Like that's stuff
nice.
that I really really like.
Mm-hmm.
So if not bio, then psych or comp
For
sci
sure.
and engineering.
Because
Yeah.
you've always talked about psych. Like I remember
Yeah.
Aaliyah's really good with that stuff too. Like she's
I
very good
yeah. I can
at
totally
understanding
see
it.
you in that field,
Yeah,
Wow,
honestly.
we've always
thank
said
Even
that.
you.
like B, I can totally see you in forensics
Oh
too.
my god, thanks.
Yeah,
Like it's such a like
dude.
ugh.
I just love that kind of stuff. It's interesting how like
Yeah.
we're so easily able to talk about what we really do love, but it's just like
Right.
finding a career for that and like
For
making it
that,
happen
yeah.
is so much harder. It's so
Mm-hmm.
hard.
Especially now, I feel like not many people know, like me sitting here as a second year, I don't know about like all the careers. Because like there's definitely a career that's like
Yes,
perfect for everyone, but it's just
yes.
like a matter
Yeah.
of you like knowing what that career is. Because like for
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I want to do neurology. Does that mean I have to go to med school and become a
Be a
doctor? Or
neurologist.
can I go
Yes.
to
Yeah.
grad school? You know, like
Oh,
there's so many, and there's obviously like a field that's for forensic biology, and there's a field for like just a regular doctor, and there's a field for different types of, stuff. But it's like they don't really tell you about like
Yeah.
those little niches that like not many people know about, but could be like perfect for you,
Yes.
100%.
I think that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, especially with like science. I feel like if you're into science, your teachers and stuff, they'll only tell you about like engineer, doctor,
Yep. Yeah.
this, like, but not everyone's gonna go into all three of those careers. Like,
Right.
there's so many other little like master's programs and PhD programs that you can do.
Yeah, and you just like never know about them.
Right?
That's so frustrating.
I know,
But
because like
Oh,
when you feel like you don't fit, it's like, well, maybe science isn't for me, but like that's
oh
not like what's happening. It's just
yes,
like you haven't found your thing in science,
yeah,
yes.
it completely like it writes you off right away. Cause like I feel
Exactly.
like all of us have at least one time doubted like is
Oh yeah.
like should I really be in science? Like should I be
Oh
a
my
STEM
God,
student?
yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
For real.
Oh man, oh that makes me nervous just
Like we're
thinking
all
about
just gonna
that.
start crying.
I
Oh.
know.
Can you imagine?
Cause like what were when you guys were in high school? Cause I know like we briefly talked about it, but like what was your mindset when you were in high, like especially grade 12, when you're gonna graduate? What was your mindset? Like what were you thinking for university? Were you like thinking about your future plans after university, or like what were you guys just thinking in grade 12? And this can also like
Mm,
stem out to relationships too. Like just what was your mindset?
Yeah, I was in a different place. I think like looking back at like grade 12 me versus now, like friendship and like identity stuff aside, I feel like I
Hmm.
was very like goal oriented, and I knew what I wanted. Even though I didn't know, I
yes,
kind of knew. Like I was like, I
yes,
want to go to this school, and I'm gonna go for
Yeah.
this many years, and then third year I'm gonna take the MCAT, and then I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that, and
Oh
that, and like
gosh.
I'm going to med
Yeah.
school.
yes,
No one can tell me I'm not. And now
yes,
like that I'm actually in it, I'm like, because in high school,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah, it was like everything seems so simple, because I know like a lot of people in high school, their issue is like, I don't know what I want to do. But for me, I was like, I know what I want to do. I want to do this, da, da, da,
Yes.
da, 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 and I want to volunteer, and and like it's all gonna add up to like going to med school, and then after I'm done with med school, I'm gonna apply for my residency, and like
Yes.
everything in high school was like so clear. And then I got here, and I was
Like, oh shit, yeah.
yeah,
No, I felt that. Like, I feel like in high school I had myself so much more together than now. But that's because
oh
I
Oh
yeah.
just
yeah.
wasn't like in the world, like,
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you feel like
yeah.
it was like a false like sense of security almost, like when you're in high school because you didn't have any idea?
I think I think low key could be that like I don't want to like be all like oh like psych on us cuz but I feel like cuz in high school you are like so much more sheltered in a way, like even in your education, not just like your home life but like in your education. But when you come to university, like it's so much more broad, and then you meet so many more people, you talk to more people, and like you hear what they're doing. So it's like in a way you are a little bit, it's
Mm-hmm.
like false security.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I think. But Vanessa, what about you? How were you
Yeah.
in grade 12? Were you
In
the
grade
same as
12,
Aaliyah?
yeah, very much so, I think. And just like even in grade 12, I feel like my time management and like all
Oh,
of those things, like extracurriculars, like just balancing everything was so much better. And just like
yep.
I like actually was like achieving things, and like I felt like
Productive. Yeah.
I felt so
Yes.
like
Real.
successful, and like it felt nice, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I really thought I was gonna go to med school, and like that was the plan, wanted to be a pediatrician. But
Yeah.
then I also was like, if I don't get in, I'm super down to do teaching, and I know York has a good like
Mm-hmm.
teaching program as
Oh,
well.
you've always gone back to that,
So,
hey?
but I don't know if I want to do that anymore. Like I
Okay.
kind of do, but
Really?
I was telling you, yeah, I was like looking into genetic counseling, and I
Oh
really
yeah.
think I want
Oh,
to
right. I remember you
explore that
mentioned
as
that.
like a
Mm.
thing. So yeah, I guess
What
very
about
strange because
you?
I completely didn't even know about it as a career.
Yeah.
But yeah,
True. What about you, B?
I feel like I was on the opposite end of the spectrum. Actually, I was like in the middle because like in grade 12, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go into dentistry. It's gonna be so easy, blah blah blah. But then you hear like how competitive like dentistry is like almost even more competitive than med right now because everybody's like, I'm not gonna go into med. Then dentistry is like the second option. So then it becomes more competitive. But like I did have a plan, but I also didn't. I always thought like I would just change. Like I just knew deep down like, I'm probably mine. So I don't know, but I can definitely attest for like time management was better. Like I felt a lot more productive. I felt like I was achieving more. And then when you get to university, it's like it's the same thing every day, and there's almost like nothing for you to achieve. You know, it's just like you do your
Facts.
midterms, you do your
Yeah.
assignments. It's like whatever.
Do
I don't know. There's
you
just
think? Oh yeah, finish.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Do you think like the lack of like extracurriculars? Because I know in high school I did a lot, and I'm pretty sure we all kind of like were very involved. Like I did
Yeah.
a lot of
Mhm.
extracurriculars for my high school,
Oh yeah.
but now it's like almost like a struggle to get involved. Do you feel like that
Yes.
kind of like plays a role in like how you feel? Because like for me in high school, I'm like, I'm achieving this, I'm going to band on this, and then I'm gonna go to student council, and then I'm gonna meet with my
Yes.
academic whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like it was kind of like packed, but like not too stressed. Because like I would come home, do my homework until like 11, and I'd be like
Hmm.
Yeah.
happy with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I would come
No,
home
yeah,
from
for
band
sure.
and then do my homework. I'd be like, bedtime. But now it's like I
Yes.
leave from one lecture and I have 2 hours of homework and I'm like over it. Do you think
Yeah.
like the fact that probably we're not as involved as we were in high school, like do you think that that's like hampering like our productivity, our feeling of productivity and like just like fulfillment?
I think so. A part of me
Yeah.
feels that. Yeah.
But I also feel like even like the extracurriculars in university, they're so different than high school.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
It
just
gives
like,
off a different sense.
but I don't know if it's just me like not being as involved as I should be, but like I miss like in high school the extracurriculars gave you like another like family and another like sense of community and like it was like,
Mhm.
a very consistent thing. Whereas here,
Yeah.
a lot of the clubs we've joined, it's been like when they're on, they're really good, and it's like you feel like you're really like helping and like you know what I mean. But it's
Hmm.
hard to balance everyone being free and like actually getting together.
Oh yeah, especially because
You
like you're
know?
in university now. It's not like in high school when everybody has like relatively the same schedule, and
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
like
you're not.
class ends at this time, and then
Yeah.
like extracurriculars are like from this time, right? So
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely. It does kind of feel like that does play a part in it. I don't know. It
Wow.
sucks.
I know.
no,
But, but
Yeah.
do we feel because I'm not saying like I don't think any of us necessarily maybe some extracurricular activities, but like a lot of times in high school when you do those activities, it's to get into a good university and it's for getting into university. So do we feel like the reason why we stop caring, like not caring, but like caring in a way, is because like we're already in university and it's like, well, now our job is done. Is that
I
part
think
of? Is
Mm.
that maybe
not really, because if
like back up our
anything,
mind
I feel like I should be in more extracurriculars now so that
now
I
to get?
can do it for like
For
yeah,
grad
for
school and
grad
stuff.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true.
because
Yeah.
these are where like the serious, you know, like extracurriculars
Like
are.
Oh
world
yeah.
helping, like
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
global.
what was
Yeah.
that thing? ASEC? ASIC?
ASIC. ASIC.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
ASIC.
all of those ones that are like, ooh, you know?
Yeah. I totally forgot about
But
them.
But it's
uh
so hard. Like I don't know if it's just York in general, but like getting involved consistently is to me at least is like very very hard. Cause like you'll follow up with a
yes.
club, and I'll speak on this because like being involved in a club and like if the leadership is not there, like you're just not gonna
It's
get
not.
anywhere. The members aren't, the club
Mm-mm.
isn't. And like I just feel like a lot of clubs that I've encountered aren't like as committed, which I can speak for that as well. Cause like you have school and like it's like you're balancing
Mm-hmm.
like do I focus on the club? Do I focus on my marks? And like it's kind of like a
Yeah.
balancing act. So I know like it's very hard for people to like find a club that's actually like doing things consistently
Yeah.
and like
Hmm.
is something that they're actually interested in at the same
Oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, because like then you have a lot of people who just join a club just for the sake of saying they join a club.
Exactly.
And if you're not
Mm-hmm.
even like the least bit passionate about it, then that just like also brings down the group in general. That's just like another
Mhm.
reason for the
Mhm.
group not
Mm-hmm.
being a good club. But yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Just like talking about it just brings things into perspective,
Yeah.
I
like how
know.
aware we are.
That's interesting. Like I didn't even think like how big the transition probably was, like from our mindset from high school to now.
Oh
Like
yeah.
looking back on it, I was a totally different person for
I
sure.
Mm-hmm.
know, but I kind of miss that like work ethic,
Yeah.
and like I had like such a high sense of hope and whatever, and now I'm just
Me
like
too.
going through it.
Oh
Like,
my goodness.
Well, like
oh,
what was it? Like what do you think it was that like was it just like being here and like actually seeing like I don't know what made me lose it because if anything, I have more flexibility between my courses. Like I should be doing more. But like I'm
That's
like
so
over
true.
it, you know?
Yeah.
Like what
I
was it?
feel like, yeah, that's a good question. Because, like, we do have so much time, but it just doesn't feel like it.
Mhm.
I don't
yeah.
know. Because I know for me personally, in high school, I did like the international baccalaureate program. So, like, I was always just like working and I was like always stressed about like my marks. And like, I had so many exams to do, so many exams to do. And I feel like that gave me a sense of like a better work ethic. But now I just don't have that. And I don't know. Maybe that's it. Like I just don't like teachers, profs don't expect so much from their students anymore. It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it is what it is. You do this, that's like the work you worked for, and yeah, I don't know. Because they're not here spoon feeding you, and we don't expect that. But like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's like part of the
But it's like
reason.
definitely different. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And I
feel like
guess
they
like
prepare us for that.
yeah, like because I guess in the real world, like you are your own sense of accountability. You are your own like person that's gonna say like get this done at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, there was just something about the stress of high school and like the fact that like you would stand, well, at least for us, like for assignments, you'd stand in front of the teacher and like literally everyone would watch you if you did the assignment or not kind of thing. And like
Mhm.
every
Yeah, yeah,
day
yeah.
there was something. There was like that pressure of like wanting to do good and like seeing your mark and like they posted our marks and student numbers like after every test and like you just want to like have the highest mark.
That's
Yeah,
how
the
you guys
student number,
had to post
student
it.
number,
Mm.
student
Oh, you
number.
guys had
So unless
student numbers
you,
in high school too.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
you didn't have a
god.
student number?
No, we had a student card, but like it didn't matter with our. We didn't have a student number on it. It was just
That's
like
how we like logged into everything.
what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how
We
we were
just
like
Picked our
logged into
recognized.
the email.
courses. Yeah.
That's so odd.
Whoa,
That just
that's
sass things for you, for
crazy.
you guys.
Actually, like
Hi,
nice,
how
like
many
rural.
students did y'all have?
Yeah. How many students were like in your guys' schools? Like B, how many?
But B Loki had a lot.
I had more than you guys.
No.
And no
Like
student
probably
number?
the same as you. Yeah.
It's because we had like you. That's the thing though. Like if you guys are from Brampton, I'm sure that 'cause there's like a school in your area, right? Like there's so many. Weren't there so many high schools in Brampton? Aren't
There's
there
a
so many high
lot,
schools?
yeah.
There's
Like
a
almost
lot,
every
yeah.
Yeah.
corner. Because you have the
Okay.
Catholic
Yeah.
and then the public to like match. So yeah.
Yeah, so see, that's like, I guess that's why I had more students because like we didn't have many high schools. You have like one for like, well, not one, but like you have a few for each end of the city.
Yeah, yeah,
Like the
yeah.
north end, the south end, east, west,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Oh, question about that. How do you guys feel like, because I know both of you guys went to Catholic schools. How do we feel about that? Like, do you ever wish you went to like public school in high school or what was it? Like, were you guys happy with?
I
No,
love
I was
my
happy with it.
experience.
Yeah,
It
Yeah.
was really
I
good.
can't diss it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys both always talk really highly of like your high school
Yeah.
experience.
I feel like public school would have been such a different experience. Like I cannot imagine that.
Really?
Um, yeah, but honestly, like most of my friends from elementary and stuff, and like people I knew went to Catholic school, like went to my school actually.
Hmm.
Um, and like, but there were a lot of non-Catholics at our Catholic school too, and it was really
Hmm.
nice. Like,
That
no,
was me. That was me in elementary school. I
really?
remember like we had to go to church. I was in like grade 4, I think, and we always had to like not always, but we only went for like Easter. And we had to go to church and everyone was like getting up to go get the wafer. And I was not baptized, keep in mind. And I got up and I went and I ate that wafer. I went home and I told my parents, and my parents were like, Bianca, why did you do that? And they were low key a little mad, but that's what you get for when your parents like
Yeah,
don't really like walk you through what you are.
True.
true.
Yeah, very uncomfortable situation. But it all worked out, it's
That's
fine.
so funny. It's okay.
Is that a sin
Oh
technically?
yeah.
I
No.
don't even
Not if you're a
know.
kid. Like plus like
Right.
I don't know. I'm not God. I can't tell you like what to say
Right.
or like how to
I feel
sin, you know?
like you're chilling. I think you're okay.
I'm
Yeah.
chilling.
It's okay. Your intentions are like pure and it's like whatever.
Yeah. I didn't had no bad intentions.
Oh my God. Yeah. I remember that. They used to like make us go to mass or we used to do
Yeah.
this thing because we had our school and we had like the soccer center like right by our school. And I
Hmm.
remember one time, like, so we would do retreats for the grade nines and stuff, and like us, like the 11s and 12s would organize it. And our chaplain was like, we had this huge, like 8 foot tall, like wooden cross. And he made us, like, not me, but he made some of the other students like carry it literally and walk like across
Know
Hello?
your rights. Know your rights as a
down
Child
down
student.
labor.
Dixie Road to the soccer center. And then all of the grade nines and stuff and like the rest of us were following behind it because like and then it like tied into the orientation like retreat later on. But I was like, yeah,
Oh my
good
god.
times. Never forget that, guys.
Vanessa school's wildin'.
We
I
had
know.
the craziest things going on, but like love
It was
that.
good though. I really,
Was
yeah, looking back, like I wouldn't change the high school that I went to. I think I would have changed like my mindset going through it for sure. There's
Oh
like
yeah.
a lot of things about myself and like that's like another whole other episode. But like I feel like yeah,
Yeah.
there's like a lot of aspects that I really enjoyed, but there are some things like if I could go back, like I would just tell myself
mhm.
to like just be yourself,
Hmm.
and like not
Yeah.
worry about other people. But like overall,
Yeah.
Catholic school, gang, loved it. It was great.
Love that.
Yeah.
Got to walk to school every day. It was really fun. I had a good time. It was great.
Honestly,
Oh,
same. Yeah.
well, that's good.
Um, but yeah, I feel like you're so right. Like we were so much less secure of ourselves, I think, in high
Hmm
school.
hmm
And
Yeah.
then like when you get to university, it's like you realize no one really cares, like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
what you sound
That's
like, what
it.
you look like, what you talk like literally any like people are a lot more accepting, but also I feel like people just like don't notice as much.
The
Yeah.
differences, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Especially
like
when
there are
we're in
people.
first year.
Oh yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
think first year, like I was thinking it was gonna be way clickier, and even the people that I thought were clicky, genuinely were just nice people. Like it
Yeah.
was really chill.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're more concerned about your GPA than like what you look like. They really could not care
Yeah.
less about
Oh
like what
yeah.
you look like
Yeah.
or like what you believe. They want to know how smart you are.
Yeah, like how yeah, that's a big one.
That's what they really care about at the end of the day. That's very
Mhm.
true. Not in like a
Mm-hmm.
shallow way, but I mean,
I feel like
it's
that's
better
kind of like
than.
more like a defining feature than like anything else. Like people
Hmm.
in a sense will respect you more, not because like you're white or black, but because like you're smart, you know? Like you
Oh
kind of
yeah.
gain that
Yeah.
respect from like profs and also like your peers. Cause like I know like for
Yeah.
me, I respect Eric because like he's genuinely smart. Like
Oh yeah.
no matter his
Mm-hmm.
Can't discredit that.
personality or like whatever, like I still respect him because like of his work ethic and whatever. And like
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
the ways that he can succeed like academically.
Yeah. Like you really can't discredit him. He does work hard for
For
those
sure.
marks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Next, I know we were wanting to talk about, since we're like kind of on, our friends, relationships with other people, where do we stand with like our relationships in our lives? Like whether it's like your love life, whether it's like your relationship with your friends, your high school friends, your parents. How do we can start wherever you guys want. Wherever like it just hits most.
It's hitting already, man. I don't know. I don't know.
We already walking out. I, I don't know. Okay, so in terms of high school friends, actually, I don't know if I was telling you guys this or not, but especially with quarantine, it kind of got a lot of our friends to like start doing these big group calls and like
Hmm.
having everyone come back together. And so over the past few weeks, I had the opportunity to talk to people that I hadn't talked to since like literally grade 12. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was like actually such a nice, wholesome experience. Like
Oh,
we were low key bonding like so much more than we ever even did like in our 4 years of high school.
that's so
And
cute.
it was like so nice to know that there's people who like even though they don't express it to you every single day, they genuinely do like care about you and want to see you succeed and just like
Yeah.
want to be there for you and like make you laugh and make you smile and like yeah.
Oh.
So like that was like I guess one good thing that came out of this was just getting to see people again.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
Aaliyah, what about you?
Oh. Well, I don't know. It's weird because like I've never been able to like transition well with like my friends. And like I know that I've told you guys like about my experiences just like trying to transition my friends from high school into like university. It's like been super hard because the type of person again like who I was, I feel like I went through a lot of phases of like trying to fit in with people in
Yeah.
like high school and
Mhm.
stuff. So the problem was like the relationships I were making, like even though we were close, it wasn't like authentically me. So like now that I'm in the place where it's like I just have like I have to be myself. Like this is like who I am and whatever. The person that like they know and the person that like bonded with them in high school is like hard to
Yeah.
connect with the person I am
Mhm.
like now.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Totally understand that.
So I mean, I obviously like try my best to keep in contact, but like I don't know, like
It's
there's only
hard.
probably one person that
Mhm.
I really talked to from high school that like it's normal.
Oh, yeah.
So actually maybe a few, but then also like the people that I am talking to now that were from my high school are like guys. So it's like
Yeah.
weird in the sense of like people that I never even connected with like for the 4 years. Like we would just take band together, see each other for an hour.
Yeah.
Those like
Mhm.
were actually the people that I feel like if I was honest with myself, I could have been like way better friends with them. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
it would have
Mhm.
ended up becoming better because half of them like go to York anyway. And
Oh,
like
wow.
some of
Oh.
them like keep in contact with me now. Yeah. So it's just like a matter of like building friendships that I kind of had, but superficially had. But now it's kind of hard because they're obviously already cemented. And I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
but
you
like,
kind
I
of just
don't think
might be
it
Yeah.
matters. I
floating.
don't want to overthink like that because I'm definitely like self sabotaging. But like, I'll make an effort for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
unless they
yeah.
Mhm.
like knock me down, like, I'm still gonna like make an effort.
But like, what makes you say
Exactly.
that you're self-sabotaging?
Because I'm like I'm too far gone, like like I shouldn't even make an effort because like this is just a superficial like hey how are you friendship, but like I haven't
Oh,
even given it a chance, so
a
like I'm
chance.
already
Yeah.
Yeah.
sabotaging the friendship before it even starts. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, but like what if we become friends, and then I'm like what do I do for friends, and like stupid questions like that, like I don't know, but like
Mhm.
that's like my self-sabotage.
Don't worry. I feel like that's a really normal thing to feel as well. Like without even trying it, you just have like all these thoughts, but you might as well give it a go. You have nothing to lose when it comes to that. You really
Literally.
don't. Yeah.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, it's just about doing it and just putting yourself out there. Life lessons, putting yourselves out there, ladies.
Yeah.
Literally. What about you, V? How are you with like your high
Um,
school friends and stuff?
I feel like, see, this is the thing. I feel like I have that whole like, oh, you moved away, so like if you don't talk to us every day, it's fine
It's
kind of
okay.
thing. You
Hmm.
know?
Mhm.
Obviously, I don't like that title, but it's nice because like throughout the year, I don't talk that often to my friends from high school, but like I'm very lucky to have had like such a good group of friends. And like Vanessa, like I was talking to them the other day and we were like on a big group call. And it's so nice because like we don't talk every day, but at the end of the day, like if I were to call them, they'd pick up and they'd be like it would go back to normal. But I do
Yeah.
feel like I've missed out on a lot of stuff because a lot of them are still in Regina and they go to university
Mm.
together and they've all remained friends.
Oh.
And it's so weird like hearing them because like obviously my high school is big, but you still knew everybody. And like they go to the same university and like my best friend, he was like, oh yeah, like I'm really good friends with so and so and we never talked to her in high school. And it's so
Wow.
weird like hearing that they're
Oh.
being friends with like all these other people and they have these inside jokes and I'm like,
Ooh, and you have to like catch up almost.
Yeah.
yeah. And like that's what I'm worried about like when I go back. That because also I don't know if you guys knew this, but like Regina or like Sask is opening back up in phases. So like they're not that strict on quarantine right now. So I don't know, I
Uh-huh.
might see my friends,
Mhm.
might not. I don't know, it's weird that they're all just like moving on with their lives almost. And it's just like I'm not part of it as much as I would want to
Oh,
be,
Yeah, I
you
get
know?
yeah.
almost like
But
FOMO. kind of. Like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
missing out. But, like, the
Yes.
good thing is, like, they're still accepting, and, like, I'm sure that they make an effort to make sure, like, if you're in those situations, you're comfortable, or, like, they fill you in on the joke, even though,
Oh
like
yeah.
hypothetically speaking, you'll never be there, but, like, at least they're making the effort to be, like, making you feel
Yeah.
comfortable, you know?
Yeah. I can't discredit that. They've definitely like been good with that. So it's just like being far away from them. But obviously I have like you guys here, which definitely does make up
Mhm.
for it, you know? Like I've never felt like, oh, if I don't have them, like I have you guys. If I don't have you guys, I have them, you know?
Right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that
Yeah.
relationship is pretty good. What about our other relationships in life? How are we feeling?
Someone else
You
can
know,
go. I don't really have anything to say on this
I
topic.
don't know what I have to say.
Me too. I'm just a
It's
little
just like
like,
a roller coaster. Like I really don't know what's happening. Like,
yeah. You know what's funny?
yeah,
Because watching like movies when we were younger and people were like, oh, you're gonna like navigate through your love lives in your 20s, it's gonna be very complicated. And I was like, dang, that is so true. It is
yeah.
very true.
It used to always piss me off when people were like, "Oh, it's complicated," but now like
It's
I
I
get
it
it.
really
It's
do feel like
complicated.
that.
It's
Yeah. I was like,
complicated.
why can't it just be like just like make it easy? But like
yeah.
I'm still sitting here like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like not really taking any steps. So
Oh goodness. It's
yeah.
very
It's
complicated.
exhausting to talk about. And, like, I don't know. I've kind of, like, gotten over it because I think, like, I don't actively look, but, like, in the scenarios where, like, something has fallen on my lap or whatever, and, like, it's, like, been an opportunity, it just has not been, obviously not perfect. Nothing's gonna be perfect, but it's just not felt right. Like,
Yeah.
if there's, like, 10 things to feel right about, it doesn't even hit, like, 5 things, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I'm like,
Mhm.
"Well, what if, we grow together?" Because, like, if you think about it, especially, like, in our 20s now, like, we're in school, and I guess this kind of relates to, like, future plans too. You're like, "I want
Right.
someone I can grow with. I want to build with them." But, like, they have to be, like, coming to the table with something to build with. You feel me? Because,
Right.
like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I know, like, now a lot of people are like, I'm just figuring out my life, which is fine. Like, figure out your life. But if you don't have, like, some sort of, like, I
Some
don't know where I'm going to be in 20 years. I don't even know if I want to be a doctor. But at least I know, like, I do want to go to graduate school or something else.
Yeah, like I
right.
want to work towards something that I'm
Something.
passionate
Something.
about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you're, at least, like, you don't know the end goal, but you know the steps, like, that you want to keep going.
Yeah,
But,
it's
like,
like have a like not even a plan for like what you want, but just like have a plan for how you're gonna like figure it out
Yeah, or
and
even
how you're
just
gonna get there.
boom,
goals.
boom. That's it. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you
That's
feel
very true.
Also, like, I totally get it if you're someone who's confused because I feel like I'm like confused too. Like, I change my mind about things like
Mm.
every single second. So it's like, but like, just communicate with me on that. Like, come to me with that. You know
right?
what I mean? Like,
Yes,
dude,
communication.
yeah.
Do you
Yep.
feel like, oh my gosh, I forgot. Okay, keep going. I'm gonna try and remember.
It was something, do you feel?
I,
That's all I
yeah.
heard. She's having a little
Dude. Okay, keep going, keep going. I'm gonna try.
Okay, go ahead, B.
I what was I gonna say now? I totally forgot. Um, yes, that oh yeah, communication 100%, like that you touched on that. It's not like I don't want to be one of those people who are saying like communication is not that hard because it can be hard 100%. But just
Hmm.
I don't know, just give me a little something. I'm not saying give me a
I
phone
feel
conversation. Give me just
no,
a few
but
words.
like
That's all I'm
you're
at.
right. Like I feel like everyone thinks like less is more, and like I'm
Oh
just gonna
yeah.
keep it basic. But sometimes, especially if you're like texting or you're not talking to someone like face to face, like
Hmm.
more is more. Like just
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
like, expose
100%.
provide a
everything.
little something, because like yeah.
Yeah, especially now, like that we're in quarantine, and it's just like I feel like relationships are a lot more like they're difficult.
Hmm.
It's just a lot harder than what it would be if we weren't like being able to meet up with a person or whatever. Because I know me personally, I have that issue. I can't like see whoever I want to see, whatever. I'm not gonna say names on here,
Just like
but
give a shout out real quick.
shout
Right?
out to my man, insert whatever name you want to
Oh
say.
my gosh, my heart, my literal heart.
But yeah, it's definitely been very very difficult. Communication has been just like meh.
Right.
Not the best it can be, but not the worst can be.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do you think like in this day and age, like people as in us and like the male species as well are like less motivated, and that's like translates not only into like your schooling or your career but like into relationships too? Because I feel like when I talk to my mom about it, she's like, when a guy likes you, he's gonna tell you because that's just you're his woman and he sees you as his woman, and like he's gonna let you know that he like cares about you. But I feel like now a lot of people, or I don't know if it's like being shy or whatever, or like they're so like chillax about it, where it's like, well, I like her, but like I don't feel
There's
like
always a but.
I put in all that work. Like
Yeah.
it's not necessary. Do you feel like now is like different in the sense where people just don't feel the need to like, I don't know, have a drive for like a career or
Yes.
like a relationship in general, so
Yeah.
that's why it doesn't like
Yeah.
translate into like, okay, so what do you want to do? Oh, I don't know, I'm figuring it out. Do you like me? Oh, yeah, I like you. Do you want to date? And it's kind of like
Yeah,
they
I
have
think
interest
that's
in you,
Yeah.
but it's like so lax in the sense like they feel no urgency to like solidify.
Yes.
yeah, 100%.
Yes, for sure.
I think that's just like the culture now. Like we've made it the culture and it just that's like the norm now, which is kind of sad in a way. Because like you want that security, that sense of security that someone's like, I want to be with you. I know what we're gonna do. Let's like these are our plans.
Yeah.
But like you said, it's just so chill. It's almost too
It's
chill
like,
for me.
yeah, it's like you don't know what the other person like wants or like what like
Yeah.
what's the goal, like, you know? It's never like
Mm-hmm.
just made clear to you.
Right,
Yeah.
I
exactly.
feel
So,
like it's the sense of like rejection. Like it's like
ooh,
if they're too out there, if they're too like not confident, but like very
Like
like
secure.
assertive. Yeah.
upfront.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that they're just like, well, what if like I was so affirmative, whatever, I was so confident, I was so secure, and like she just rejected me or he rejected me. Like I feel like it always comes back to rejection because I don't know who I think I was talking to. I don't want to know if we can say like names if we want on here. Yeah.
Okay. It's
Okay, we were
not
talking.
bad. Like,
I was talking to our first year friend, and
Okay.
he was like,
oh,
and he, and he was talking about like he's always like shot his shot and like been very confident, but he definitely has like faced rejection, and I think like he was saying like how now he starts to just like pull back and shy away and not be as affirmative as he was before.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of surprising to me because like I think he's definitely still like flirty, but I definitely do see where he's coming from because like you could be so confident and still get rejected. But I don't know. Like I said, that's the culture. Maybe we've just like made it the norm. And now that's just like what you're gonna get.
I feel bad.
Me too.
I mean, yeah.
Me too. I feel a little bad, but it is what it is, you know? Not everyone it's not everyone's time. That's the best thing when like your mom have you guys ever like when your mom like or your dad brings you food or like fruit and you like
And
on
you're
a plate
sitting, yeah.
Right?
it's the best feeling.
I'm going to cry. Also, this is like a really fluffy omelet. Wow.
Oh, yum. I kind
Right?
of want an omelet now.
But yeah, we have like probably I put a timer on. We probably have like 10 minutes left.
Okay.
So I forget what we were saying, but
Whatever, like anything you guys like want to add to the conversation, like relationships or whatever it is, like how do we feel just like in general right now about our lives? Are we just content? Are we feeling
I think so. It
honestly,
comes in waves, honestly.
yeah,
yeah.
I can agree
Yeah.
with that. But like, I'll say this: like, initially, I was very caught up in like relationships with not multiple people at the same time, but like different people, and
Yeah.
like I felt like, oh my gosh, I'm 20. Like, this is my time to get into a relationship.
Oh yeah.
And like,
Mm-hmm.
I hate to be like, I have high standards, but like, there's just like, I'm realizing that there's certain criteria that like have to be met. Forget about
Mm-hmm.
aesthetics, forget about
Mm-hmm.
like the outside stuff or whatever. There's just like certain, like, you have to have a certain mindset or like goals or whatever that has to be met And like I'm realizing that if the person doesn't meet those standards, then it's just like putting us both through the ringer in the long run. And like my emotions are
Yeah.
gonna get hurt, theirs might not get hurt, but I know mine will. So like once I
Yeah.
realized that and like kept everything super platonic with people that I knew that were not gonna work out, and really like said, okay, Leah, like on paper, you know you can't catch feelings. Obviously it's hard. It's
Yeah.
definitely hard for like
Mhm.
certain people. But like just knowing like what I need, not necessarily what I want, but like what I
What you
need
need, yeah.
has like saved me so much energy. So like I feel way better now. And
That's
like
very fair, yeah.
on like myself and like trying to like develop like my craft and stuff, like painting, like my knees or whatever, and like learning the piano and like just other stuff like that too. Like once I took my energy off of like trying to find like the right person or like trying to make relationships that weren't gonna work, I had like more time and energy to put into like myself. So like,
Yeah.
you know?
I think that's just so, like, I don't be cheesy or anything, but like that's actually so beautiful. Like when you're able to just like focus on yourself and just like build yourself, I think like you have so much more things and better things coming your way, you know, when you're
Yeah.
at such a good place mentally too.
Right? Like, I think that's the goal, is just to find like peace within yourself first before you like look for it in someone else.
Right? Because like
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, it's so funny because like whenever I scroll on like social media or whatever, there's some people who don't agree with that statement, like you like you need to be in a good place before you get a relationship, because some people think like, well, if I'm not in like the best place but I find somebody
But to make
like
you
to make you right. So I don't know, it's weird because like
Yeah.
me myself, I wouldn't want to burden the other person. Like we're there to
Right? It's
grow
like, is it
together.
their, is it their
Yeah.
responsibility type of thing?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, of
I
course,
don't know.
your significant other is definitely there to help you grow
Mm-hmm.
as a person, but like it shouldn't you should be able to like be complete in yourself. Because like
Mm-hmm.
for me, for the longest time I was like, I'm happy, but I'd be happier if I had a boyfriend. You know what I mean? And because of that, like it would just be in the back of my mind, like literally every day. There wasn't a day that went by where I was like, I wish I had a boyfriend. I wonder what I would do if I had a boyfriend. And then it's like you're kind of bringing down your own mental. And like I'm still
Yeah.
not at the place where I'm like, I don't need anyone. But like once you get to the point where you're like, I'm super happy with myself, and it's not like I wish, but like if it happens, like it happens. Like once you're at that place and like you feel fulfilled, you're just gonna like attract like a certain type of people, and like you're just gonna
Oh
feel
yeah.
happy like within yourself. And like obviously
One-
I've never been through it, so like this is just me like blabbering about like how I feel, but like I feel like that makes a little sense. I don't know.
that does
it
100%.
does.
I can get behind that. Yeah. Because like we always say that, like, oh, we've never been through it, like we've never experienced it, but I mean, I don't know, it just seems it clicks with you, you know? It makes
Right.
sense that that's how it would be. And I feel like you're bound to be in a lot more like healthier relationship if that's the way you go in with. That's
Yes.
what you're going in with. Yeah. 'Cause nobody wants that. You don't want a toxic relationship right from the get-go.
Exactly. Or
Yeah.
like at all. But
Yeah, at all.
True.
I
Like you
mean,
want to like 3 months in, it gets
yeah.
toxic.
like that's when you can start. But
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so scary. That's one of my worst fears,
I
like just being in
know.
a toxic relationship and
right.
then not being aware and not see. That's the thing. You're not gonna if you're not in a healthy place, you're not gonna be aware of it, and you're
True.
not gonna be life lesson for ladies out there and for men.
Everybody.
Never know. Everybody.
hmm
Super scary stuff.
Also, I guess this could also be a topic for another like episode. But what would you guys classify as like a toxic relationship? Like, what are like, you know? Because like when like I feel like we're always like, yeah, that's toxic, but like, you know,
No, yeah, I
in
get
what
it.
way?
I do.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Oh
there are
man.
many.
That's like a good I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, that can open up
Okay.
a lot of
Because we
things.
low key have it, but like more like friendships. But like we can definitely talk about relationships.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we want to like touch on it now or like
Or we can save it for like a whole new thing if you
If you
want.
wanna save it, we can do it next week.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Well, ladies,
That was good.
yes, this was a very good episode. I enjoyed our talks.
Me
Considering
too.
the timer just
There's
went.
a timer?
Oh, wow.
You.
Does everyone want to do the outro? Like, I don't know.
Do we have an outro, like a thing?
Well, it's basically like, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, this is
Like and
probably
subscribe.
on Spotify, so listen to. I don't know. Follow on Spotify. Like our. I don't know.
Whatever it is.
Hopefully, we can do this in person, like ASAP.
I
Yeah.
miss you guys.
Miss you guys too.
But yeah, we should be back for another episode next week. So yeah, subscribe, like, follow.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Stay healthy, stay indoors, social distance until further notice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I think
Anything
that's
else?
it. I think I'm good.
Yeah, not really.
Okay.
Wait, that sounded so bad. Bye.
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 Bye.